Well, thank
Hi,
you.
hi.
Hello, how are you today?
Very good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks so much for doing this. I'm super excited to talk to you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, of course. You can come back every week if you'd like. Just kidding. So anyhow, I'm gonna just jump right into it if that's all right. I know that you've been in a lot of movies and series, notably Benedict Arnold in Outlander, The Last Kingdom as King Constantine, and I believe you are in Blood Axe now. And you're now currently filming, and you're going to be Athelstan.
That's right.
Okay. And then, of course, you were in Terra Nova a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a long time.
People love that show.
Yeah, do you so you knew it?
Oh, yeah, we watched it. Oh, yeah, my
Okay.
husband still talks about it.
So does my aunt. Yeah,
Oh,
she wants
really?
keeps asking me what happens.
Oh, well, it was a
Mm.
good show. We enjoyed it. So Benedict Arnold shows up in Outlander in season seven, Turning Points, the second battle of Saratoga. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience on that show, how you played his character? Did you research him ahead of time because he's a real historical figure?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of research. Yeah, that was what I mean, I really like playing real people. He's a really fascinating person.
Yeah.
And I know Diana had said that she wants him to be, at least it's in some respects, sympathetic, try and make people think again, not necessarily to change their minds on what they think of him, but just
Mhm.
to think, no, this is a human being, nuanced and complicated like everybody else.
Right.
So to play him in that way, although that's not hard because I didn't know who he was, so I didn't have any preconceived ideas. I didn't have
Oh,
oh, I dislike this man. He was unknown to me. But yeah, I've just read a lot of stuff about him and books, and the director kindly sent me a very detailed, complicated book about him, particularly focusing on Saratoga.
oh, wow.
Um, and then it was just trying to figure out how you got to the moment before he decides to go, to turn. What happened throughout his life to turn him into the person that would become the decision he made?
Right.
Because having been actually, in this instance, probably a semi decent person, obviously someone brilliant in battle, and then suddenly going, I've had enough, and I'm gonna do the unthinkable thing. So
Hmm.
how did that come about? From day one, from birth to that point, what had happened that meant
Right.
this was the obvious next step for this guy? So yeah, loads of research on it. But the job itself, I loved it. Um, I I I stayed bizarrely in Constantine's castle in Scotland when I was filming
That is kind of
Benedict.
strange.
Yeah, I know. I was so
Was it
what?
interesting?
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
I was so fresh on that character that they said, "Oh, you're staying in Stirling," and I thought that's where Constantine. Well, I didn't really know where Constantine was from because no one really did. I
uh,
placed him in Glasgow, but they said you're staying in Stirling. But when The Last Kingdom was on, it always said uh, whatever it said, King Constantine's Castle, Stirling, or
and it's
something
a
like that.
real thing. That's
And I
wild.
was like, there it is, and it's beautiful. But yeah,
I
so I stayed
bet.
there, and I had a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a great job.
Outlander's like kind of my obsession. So,
Okay.
well,
Yeah,
not
a lot
kind
of
of, it
people,
is. So,
you're not alone.
yeah,
You're not,
right, right. Well, a lot of the people that you've met at the Last Kingdom events at Sassenach City, like I know because of Outlander events, and they always tell me about how wonderful, the Last Kingdom events are. So,
oh yeah, they're great. They're great.
and okay, so let's talk a little bit about your role as King Constantine. Can I mean, what was filming The Last Kingdom like? What kind of characteristics of the king do you admire? Since he was a real person, he seemed to be like kind of an epic king and a pretty wonderful, like at that time, a wonderful person.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder how he'd fare today in our society, but
Oh,
for the time, I think a really decent human being. The job itself was wonderful because generally speaking, we were all they rented out a kind of whole apartment block, and so you're in a building where every door you knock on is someone, a friend of yours, and this is the tail end of COVID, so initially there's a curfew, you're not even allowed outside. So it was just us locked in a building together, getting to know each other really well, having a great time, with the most welcoming cast I've ever known. Um, so the job was potentially the most special I've ever had in that respect.
Oh, wow.
Um, I also, the character, I loved him.
A super interesting person.
Super interesting person,
Yeah.
and you know the arguably the guy who formed Scotland,
Right.
um, formed it just before England. Although I guess when England was formed, it didn't really change much, but Scotland grew after it was formed. There were other kingdoms that then became incorporated, but um, I just think he's a I don't know, a visionary, and he put the whole thing together. And there were multiple tribes that for a long time everyone thought just disappeared, but actually no, they just were peacefully now coexisting together. And he managed to create a country where it could have been war and bloodshed amongst his own countrymen, but somehow that never happened. Something he must have done. And then he abdicated because he lived there, I mean, been king for so long, 40 years, I think.
Yeah,
It's a
I
while.
saw that. I watched a little bit of a clip of I can't think of who it is now. You did a podcast a couple years ago with two guys
Oh
scream.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were you guys were talking about that in detail about how he
Right.
abdicated, he became a abbot.
He did
Yeah,
in St Andrews, I think. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. But my memory, my is, we have short-term memories
Oh
for
yeah, I know.
acting. You have to
I
remember
feel you.
everything, shoot it, then forget it all. So I could be getting things wrong. But yeah, no, I just you read a lot about various kings and queens around the world, and this was a very special one, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the costumes and how they, the hair they put on you, it's just so romantic and wonderful to see.
Yeah,
I
I
love
know.
that stuff
The whole
so
team on it.
much.
Incredible. Exactly.
Did you read any of Bernard Cromwell's books? Like
I did. I
you
did.
did? Oh, I haven't even read those. Are they good? There's
They're
so
really
many.
good. Yeah, they're very good. They're it's quite interesting if you watch the TV show because obviously you see everything from different perspectives, but the book is always told from Uhtred's point of view, what he sees and
Okay.
understands about
Right.
everything.
Now, did you
Um,
read those prior to being King Constantine?
I did. I had limited time. I'd not read them before I got the job, and I'd not seen The Last Kingdom, and
Oh,
so I
you
had
didn't even see it. Oh, okay.
no, I had no idea what it was.
Wow.
Um, so whatever the limited time I had, I knew I had a real person to study, which kind of takes precedence. But I also had to watch the series and I had to read the books. So I only read the ones that were just prior to me arriving, and then from then on. Yeah,
Right. Wow.
yeah. Had
Wow.
to use the time carefully.
Yeah. When you say you didn't have much time, was it like a week or a couple days or if you
Uh,
remember?
no, it wouldn't have been a couple of days. It might have been a week, maybe two
Oh,
weeks.
yeah, that's
I
not super
remember
long.
it's not super long, but I remember having to watch the show in one go, really, four
Oh,
seasons.
wow.
I
Yeah.
kind of did it, woke up at breakfast, started watching, went to bed, woke up and carried on. And so, yeah, it was,
Yeah.
I don't know, it was a day and a half or something.
I always felt when I was watching The Last Kingdom, I always felt so much sympathy for you, Trid, trying so hard to do the right thing and always finding someone and then something tragic happening to that person all the time. I was like, can't this guy get a break? It was
I know.
sad. It
It's
was
awful.
sad.
And then he does all these selfless things for everyone else, and it's not, no one's grateful. Like
Yeah.
you got
Oh,
a
yeah, that
break
drives
now.
me nuts. I'm like, really?
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, and he kind of had like a hard beginning and upbringing too, with his brother, and then he's Uhtred
Yeah.
now, and like that was in the beginning. I was like very confused by that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Awful.
that's a complex story. It's a complex story with a lot of different complex characters for sure.
Yeah, but most of whom existed.
Right, which is
Yeah,
yeah, that's so crazy, especially with the whole thing like in Outlander with Benedict Arnold, because that's like a phrase now. People still say that.
yeah,
So
yes,
that's like, in Claire's face, she's like, "Oh my goodness." And in the books, there's a lot more done with Benedict Arnold. Did you read any of that?
I didn't. That one I
Okay.
didn't have time.
I'll
Yeah,
give you a quick cliff note. So he is in love with that Peggy Shippen, I believe.
that's
And
right.
something happens to her cousin. He's like, I believe it's her cousin. He's tarred and feathered or something. Something bad, horrible happens to me. They left him for dead
Okay.
by the sea or whatever. So then Benedict Arnold comes to the printing shop and wants Claire to just come and help this man. And Jamie's like, well, wait a minute, why? And I'm going with you and that kind of thing. It's this very dramatic scene. And, Claire can tell that he's clearly in love with this Peggy Shippen woman who's much younger than him. It's pretty dramatic. It's
Wow,
yeah,
I didn't
it's a
know
whole
that.
scene about I mean, like, how Diana Gabaldon is very detailed, especially anything medical, because Claire is a surgeon and a doctor. Yeah, that's like, I have trouble when I reread the series, which I love, and I tend to reread it a lot. I kind of have to pass over that a little bit because it's kind of, so
Quite graphic.
yeah, it's just a little too much for me, which is sad because my mom's a nurse, but I can't
Oh,
handle the like,
I'd be the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
you ever read that,
yeah.
all her
That'd be.
books, I heartily, recommend all her books. So, but I think I have to read these Bernard Cromwell books now because now I'm intrigued.
They're really accessible, really exciting.
I think there's like 13 in a series.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I always do that. I get into a series that's like super long. What else did I want to ask you? Oh, let's talk about Blood Axe. So, like, what's that like? You're currently still doing that in Dublin. Like, what's the vibe and the cast you're working with? How much are you allowed to talk about?
Very little. I mean,
Okay.
uh, I guess that I can talk about. That it's a lovely cast, lovely crew. I mean, I'm not saying it because every job you should be saying that. They're
No, no, I believe you.
genuinely special bunch.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
it's written by a guy called Michael Hurst and his son Horatio Hurst. And Michael Hurst wrote a series I did years ago called The Tudors.
Oh,
And
okay.
I remembered finding his dialogue almost the most rewarding dialogue I've ever said. So I was really excited coming onto this one. And I think it's going to be incredible. But plot wise and all that, I can't,
Right.
unfortunately.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Will it be a series or will it be a movie?
It will be a series
Series
on Amazon.
on Amazon. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
How much longer do you have? Do you still have a couple months or?
Yeah. I think I'm here till the end of November. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow. That's a nice time to be in Ireland.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Have
I like,
you've been to Ireland?
no, I want to go though. No,
Presumably
I'm
you've been to
excited
Scotland.
to like go places like that. I'd like to go to obviously Scotland, Ireland. I'd
Yeah.
like to go back to England. When I was little, I'd probably tell this story way too much, but I was born in the States. My folks lived in London till I was about 2. So I'd like to go back
Oh,
and see the areas where they live. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah.
And yeah, Scotland's beautiful. Ireland's
Oh,
beautiful.
it
Yeah.
looks so nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do admit that the reason I'm now interested more is because of Outlander, but I'm sure there are other things to see there as well.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love to travel anyhow. So, let's talk a little bit about events you've done. So, we were talking a little bit before about Sassenach City. You've done the Last Kingdom events. You just came back from the Continuum. So, what was your experience with those events? And have you done other fan events or Comic Cons?
No, fan events for me, I haven't done many at all.
Oh, okay.
Um, they've I've done some online, but basically they've all been in Kansas City.
Yeah, she does. Tina
Uh,
does a lot of really great events.
yeah, she's amazing at it.
Yep.
But this one was really lovely because it was, I've always done them as Last Kingdom. This was a mixture, which was
Yep.
really lovely. And funnily enough, the most I've got to hang out with Outlander cast,
Oh, yeah.
including while doing the job. So yeah, we it just immediately gelled everybody from the three different TV shows,
Yeah,
and
I saw some of the photos from some of my friends, and they it looked like a fun time.
yeah, it
So
was great. It was great. I
yeah.
really liked it. Yeah.
So did you not? So you didn't really work directly like with um John Bell or like Stephen Cree, right?
No, I've never
No,
met them.
okay. Yeah,
No,
because Stephen Cree's hilarious. Although they're both really hilarious people.
they're very yeah. Stephen
They're
Cree
very
is
funny. Yeah. I have
really
some interesting photos because John Bell was being hilarious. So
yeah. They're
yeah.
very funny. Yeah, Stephen Cree cracked me up a lot, and
He's
John
hilarious.
Bell.
He's a lot. He's a lot of extra. I like it. I like it. No, I'm extra. I get it. I like it though. So
I like it too. I really like it. Yeah, and John Bell and I we hung out a lot, went out a lot at night and stuff, and he's great. Love him.
yeah, they're both really sweet people.
Yeah.
So is there like a particular character that you liked playing more than others, or is there a particular character that you would like to play that you haven't played yet? What do you see? Or what would you like to do?
I'm never very good at answering what I would like to
Oh,
play.
okay.
But I actually really like playing real life people, especially if they're not alive. If it's like we only know about this from the written word,
Hmm.
so try and bring it to life. Try and find what you think it is, and you get a little bit of latitude in that to to create something that you think that person would have been.
Hmm.
Um, so I really enjoy that. And this endless study, you can just keep finding more and more. But
Right.
eventually you have to make little decisions about moments and things because historians always seem to disagree. And you think, no, this
Oh.
one, I'm making this character based on this bit of information. And now there's a fork in the road. I've got to decide which way I think it went. And
Hmm.
so you build obviously, um, you don't know, but you build a character based on that. But I think
Right.
my favorite maybe I love that. I did a show for the BBC called The Silence years ago, actually here in Dublin, which was about two cops, a homicide detective, and I don't know what you'd call it over there, like a drug enforcement
Like a
agent,
DEA agent, like a DEA.
kind of, but they're in the
Okay.
same police building, so not a
Okay.
special.
Or maybe not.
I don't know. I don't know what you call. We call them drug
I don't get
drug squad,
it. Okay.
and the detective, the homicide detective, has his niece staying with him. She is deaf, and she goes out one night. She witnesses a murder, and
Mm.
sees the murderer. The murderer is the drug squad detective who
Oh,
works alongside her uncle. Is it uncle right? Yeah, uncle.
yeah, that's crazy.
So then he has to investigate his sort of friend,
Oh, that
and
sounds
I
sticky.
love playing that dark,
Yeah.
horrible, but a guy who's like displaying charm and very successful at his job, and everyone sort of looks up to him. But
Mhm.
really, he's deeply unpleasant. So I love playing
Right.
him.
Like he puts
Yeah,
on a good facade
yeah.
for sure.
Everything very.
So when you're preparing for a role and you're getting ready like to go on set, do you have like a random thought like I'm gonna nail this? Are you like really nervous before you do it? So I know a lot of people that perform, even musicians or people in bands, singers, they're like, they have the even if they've done it for years, like they have this panic moment or this
Yeah.
anxiety moment like before they start. Like, do you feel that or are you just like you just real relaxed and you're like, I'm good, I prepared, I'm ready to go?
I no, I'm terrified.
Oh no.
I'm but I settle in. Like the first day, I hate.
Yeah.
I can't sleep, and
Oh, right, because of you don't know what to expect, right?
don't know what to expect, but also you build a like we've been saying, you build a character, and it's loads of thought goes into this character, and until you put it on camera, you could choose any one of these avenues you want to go down, and even though you kind of narrow them down until you're like, no, this is the guy, you still don't know what's going to happen in the room when you get there. Someone might say, no, no, the character's more like this because on day one they're kind of developing it with you a little bit, or they
Okay.
could be. So it's still open. And so it's really scary to know of all this scope of humanity, I'm going to suddenly choose what I might be doing for the next, if it's a series that runs, it could be years. And I
Right?
make the decision today. And if I regret it tomorrow, it's too late.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
heavy.
find that really scary. But also you doubt yourself. Maybe you're a
Sure.
hopeless actor. I don't know. You get imposter syndrome. Um, but then eventually you relax.
Yeah.
Very quickly you relax on day one, but eventually you relax with the project you're on a bit. So it varies by your mood and how difficult the scenes are, but I think there's always a little bit of nerves in there, a little bit of
Yeah. I mean, I get nervous for like right before I do things that are really important to me. So,
yeah,
or
yeah,
traveling, because traveling's such a joy sometimes. But
yeah. I get nervous before traveling, and I love
yeah,
traveling. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. So let me ask you this. What attracted you to acting? Why did you want to become an actor? And was it one deciding factor? Was it something you saw, like a show or a movie or a person, an actor, another actor?
It was. I think it was because I mean it's not interesting, but I just loved films. Um, and
That's
I thought,
interesting.
yeah, oh, is it? Okay.
I think
Well,
so. I love films. Yeah.
so yeah, that was it. When I was a kid, I used to escape into films, and I thought I want to be a part of that. I want to tell these stories. I don't know that I really thought about in what way or how, but that eventually became I want to be an actor. And I don't know if I even really understood what that might involve. Certainly a lot harder than I thought it was.
Sure.
Um, and then, yeah, but I sort of gently pursued it throughout childhood, a little bit, not obsessively. And then when I got to the right age to go to drama school, I applied and I went to train for 3 years doing that. And
Oh,
then
cool.
that's when I realized it really wasn't. I mean, it's much more beautiful than I thought it was, but also a lot more disciplined and difficult.
Sure.
Um, and then they said, things like, oh, this is early on, big shocks like you need to buy a leotard. And I'm like, what? No, I just want to be in Star Wars. Do I need a leotard? And
Leotard
yeah,
for
so then you
what? Like
stand in the
for
cold.
dance or just for like an outfit or?
No, it was a weird, amazing thing we did. It was called movement psychology, and
Oh,
it
okay.
was, it was very in depth. I won't explain it to you now, but there were two sides to it. One was about using movement psychology with the things you say,
Mm-hmm.
and some of it was about just purely focused on your body with no words. And the teacher needed to see, I guess, like anything that would give away like shadow moves or a
Right.
lie or whatever. And so we all of us had to be standing there doing almost a kind of, I can't think, not like yoga, but it's very popular now. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but it's a bit like yoga. And then you'd hit some movement in your body, and some people it would connect them to something emotional. They'd just suddenly burst into tears, like
That's super
uncontrollable.
interesting.
It's really weird and interesting, and
Yeah.
you never fully understand it, but you understand that it makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And then this teacher who was brilliant, but also very harsh, would
Ooh.
see straight through you, and it would be terrifying.
Oh,
Yeah, you
that
could.
is kind of terrifying, especially if you're
Yeah,
younger.
yeah, and you couldn't phone it in.
Yeah.
You had to commit.
I took acting and drama in school, and I had this one acting teacher in high school would always like yell at me. He was so I just like, and I hated him because he was so mean to me. But then later in life, like I re-met him, and he was so nice to me.
I really
Oh, yeah,
dispassionate.
he was like, "Oh, I always enjoyed having you in class," and I'm like, "I thought you hated me," but okay.
I had the same with this one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it was just really. I
interesting.
think he was just trying to. Part of it was he was trying to push us, you
Yeah,
know, to like
yeah,
be better or whatever. But yeah, when you're a teenager, you think it's personal. So
yeah. You do. It
yeah,
hurts. It
everything's
hurts.
so personal. So
But I guess also, if you ever went into a career with it, you need kind of quite a thick skin because
true. Yeah, I
life
would
is
agree with
rejecting
that. Yeah, yeah.
most
I
of the
was just
time.
like
People,
very sensitive young girl, so I was like, what?
yes, it's
Yeah,
hard.
but so what motivates and drives you like when you're acting, like in anything, like in your life or in acting, but mostly, I guess in acting mostly, but how do you find motivation and to be driven?
Uh, well, if I mean, broadly speaking, I guess I'm really interested in acting. I want to be good at it, and
Well, you are very good.
well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah, you're welcome.
it's always feels slightly out of reach in a really good way. Like you never achieve it, so you've always
Right.
got something to. It's like you're decoding something within you to access more and more and more and
Hmm.
more, and you know you can. They said it, one of the lines in that scene in Outlander. Um,
Oh,
the man's reach must always exceed his grasp.
okay.
And it's like that. You want to reach for something you're never going to get
Hmm.
and be happy with that. There's no disappointment you're never going to get it, but you're always going to get closer. And so yeah, always pushing myself because I know what my weak points are, or I learn new ones as I fail things. And then I find it exciting. Now I've got another thing I need to just try and start breaking through on that. Um, so I think that's why I love doing it and why I find it motivating because there's always somewhere to develop, yeah,
Right.
and unreachable to develop, but you can get a little closer. But how you do it when you're out of work, I don't know. I I keep positive as much as I can.
Well, that's good.
Uh, no, you got to kind of think, I know it's going to be okay.
Yeah. It's hard
Well,
sometimes.
it's hard sometimes.
Life can be rough for, everybody, but yeah,
Yeah, and
at
this
different
the last
times.
few years seems to have been particularly, you know,
Yeah,
world is changing quite a lot, and what we
for
used to feel
sure.
stable is no longer stable, and
Right.
so yeah, but I don't know. You know, it's going to be okay, and I keep working. I'm never not working.
Does that keep you happy?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, it means I think, well, when it happens, I've 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 stepped a tiny bit closer
Yeah.
to being able to do this side of things or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Who do you love? Like what actors or actresses do you love? Or did you like have one you loved a lot when you were younger? Or
I've had so many.
yeah.
I love loads. You know, acting's quite often you may hear people say it's about making decisions and choices
Hmm.
because every time you see a scene, there are very many different ways you could play it, but you have to decide. And so actors talk about looking at other actors about based on the decisions they made with the words. You can imagine the words on a page with nothing, and then being confronted by all these options and the decisions, the choices you make are the ones that determine how the scene plays out.
Hmm.
Um, I love actors who make choices I would never have thought about. And then I find that just, that's incredible. I would never have thought about that. If I see a choice, I think that would have been the choice I would have made.
Hmm.
I'm, it's less exciting. My favorite screen actor probably would have been Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, he was pretty brilliant.
He was extraordinary,
Yeah.
extraordinary. And it's kind
Kind
of
of a
an,
sad story too.
yeah, but inspiring that guy is
Oh yeah,
always.
for sure. I loved him as did you ever see that movie in the early 2000s called Almost Famous? About
Yes.
Oh yeah, okay, Cameron Crowe, like his whole experience writing for Rolling Stone. Yeah, and he would always call Philip Seymour Hoffman, who was Lester Bangs, and all the like sarcastic, jaded rock and roll information that guy would give him. I'm like, this is a kid. The
Yeah.
movie cracks me up. It's so funny.
It was a brilliant movie.
It was funny.
Brilliant
Yeah, and
movie.
brilliant.
Yeah.
And the whole, when Billy Crudup is high as a kite on top of the roof. And they're like, nobody says that. Nobody did. And Robert Plant watched it and he's like, I said that. I'm a golden god. I said that. I was like, well, at least you admitted it. So,
Yeah. Oh, I gotta
yeah,
watch
a lot of rock
that.
and roll is craziness. So
Yeah, I love it. No, it's been
I do too.
ages since I saw that. I've got to watch that again. You've
And
made
I
me think,
love,
"Oh, that's
yeah,
it."
I love Kate Hudson's one quote. She's like, well, famous people are just more interesting. Well, because she's like, I mean, yes, she's a groupie, but she's really a lover of music. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, anyhow, I'm like, I
Yes.
digress. But so what would be your advice for someone wanting to become an actor?
Um, well, I mean, take it with a pinch of salt because it's hard enough. I'm finding it hard enough to be an actor sometimes, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I think that really you want to not think too much about acting. I don't want to say something that's some because it's different. Everyone's unique and
Yeah.
their way in and their process for acting is different. Every actor you work with does it a different way. Even if you train in the same way, what
Oh,
works
yeah.
for you is different. But what I thought was doing spending a life up until you start wanting to training to become an actor or whatever however you get into it um as in the most varied way possible I think is more beneficial than actually doing plays and studying drama. Go out and live life as
Right.
fully as you possibly can, have as many experiences as possible, and look at people. Sometimes you eventually you learn that almost every moment in life is an opportunity to sort of see how people behave and react
Hmm.
and this sort of stuff. And so you can turn it off, but a bit, but to start learning to turn it on, especially if you're in extreme or interesting or exciting situations, to start going, hang on, what is someone like when they, are drunk on the roof of a building? What does it look like?
Right.
So yeah, I'd say go and do stuff. Go do stuff,
Get
live a
some
life,
life on you and some dirt on you.
put some life and some dirt on you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
sure. I think that I think that musicians and creative people possibly well, I'm a creative person to some extent as a writer and a DJ, whatever, and interviewing people, but I think sometimes I feel like I look at the world differently.
Right.
Sometimes I see like it's the nicest way to say it. I can see through the BS and I can see what a person sometimes I could see a person for really who they are. And maybe
Yeah.
everyone else is like, this person is so wonderful. And I'm like, yeah, not so much. So
You're
I try
saying
not to say it, but I'm in my head, I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
occasionally you kind of see through it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it depends on the person. Some people are more transparent than others. Some people are really good at hiding themselves. So,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
and I mean, I'm sure they have their reasons. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
And it makes that, I mean, it's quite interesting as well, isn't it, to see that?
very, very. And as someone, I'm pretty extroverted. I think that sometimes I misunderstand shy people, you know,
Okay.
because, you think, oh, this person is stuck up, but then you meet them and I've become friends with some very shy people and they were like, just overwhelmed by someone who can just talk all the time, I
Yeah.
guess. And then
Yeah.
ended up becoming good friends with them, whatever. But I mean, it's because you don't see it, you see it from your perspective, you don't see it from their perspective.
Yeah. Are they being rude or are they just, they hate me? They're not interested. What is it?
I,
They're so
I think
arrogant.
sometimes it's
What
just
is it?
overwhelming
Yeah.
to have somebody be like super outgoing to them. So,
No, for sure. But I mean, when you see it, you wonder, it can feel like they're just rude or
oh, them. Yeah. Yeah.
realize.
Well, I think maybe
No, they're just,
sometimes they take in the situation. They're still
yeah,
taking it in, whereas I'm just jumping head first. So,
yeah, yeah.
which
I
I
get
tend to do anyhow. So let me ask you a couple more things and I'll let you go have a life. Um,
it.
if you have any free time, because you said you like to work a lot, like what do you like to do? Do you have any hobbies or do you like to read? Do you like to travel?
I love traveling a lot. But I mean, I don't do it as much as I used to, but I love that. That might be the most kind of inspiring and free or inspired and free I ever feel. Um, and so, yeah, we used to do it all the time, my wife and I. But it's got harder as we got older, and now we have children and
Aw.
schools, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, agendas.
Um, yeah, it changes your life. I love cooking a
Oh,
lot.
are you
Um,
good?
No, I'm awful. I poison everyone. I don't know. I mean, I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it.
People you make it
Um,
for, like your wife and your children, will they eat it?
they will eat it. Yeah,
Okay, well, that's probably good.
um, so yeah, I did some training and that sort of stuff. Uh,
Nice.
but really, and I love reading, and I really love music. But I
Me
think
too.
my favorite thing is just hanging out with the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
My kids just make me piss myself laughing all the time. And so, but it's every emotion, the
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
scale of human
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
existence.
Kids are unpredictable, that's for sure. Do you have,
Yeah.
can I ask you how many you have?
Yeah, I have three. I've
Three.
got
Okay.
a daughter, and then I've got twins who are a daughter and a son.
Oh, how
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I have
and
friends that have twins. It's like a totally different dynamic.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
then the parents are outnumbered as
sure
well.
makes it interesting.
It does.
So what's next for you after Blood X? Are you gonna, do you have something on the horizon, or are you gonna take a little bit of time off with your family?
And
Take a
that's my
take a,
plan. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
hoping to take because this will be a long period apart. I want to. I mean, it depends. I'm not being very proactive. I actually just want to go away with them, spend as much time as possible
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Get some
Just
rest and some downtime.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, and then see what happens. But then that would be my favorite thing. But you never know. I mean,
Yeah, right. Something might come up.
something comes up that you can't say no to, or sort of someone for someone. Yeah.
Okay, so here's I guess this will be one of my last questions then. So if something comes up, are you like, do you just want to keep going? Do you just jump on it? Are you like, are there always offers coming to you? Like, do your agent like constantly like, hey, I got all these things for you to look at, Rod?
No, there's quite often things to read, but
Okay.
no offers. No, they're
'Cause you have to audition, right?
you have to audition,
Okay.
and you're going to be wrong for most of them. Sometimes, sometimes there are a whole stack of things where you have to choose, and then for a long period of time, I'm going from this to this to this to
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
And then sometimes there's like tumbleweed, um, but it
Like
really
crickets.
varies. Yeah. So, so quite often when an offer comes, depending on what the landscape is like, you might just say, yeah. Unless you think you're wrong for the role, like I
Right.
don't do that.
Do you say
Some
no to roles that you feel that you're wrong for?
Yeah, I say
Yeah.
yeah, I have to because there's nothing worse than doing a job badly, especially
Right, right.
I can be scared of roles, but somewhere deep down I think I can do this. But if I don't see a way in,
Yeah.
I actually normally say to my agent up front when they send me a script, this character is the one they like you for. And I work on it and I try and record it. And every now and again, it's actually very rare, I can't find any access. Or in that particular moment, I can't. And it scares me. And I think, okay, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't think I'll be able to do it. So I'm not going
That's
to do it.
probably a good idea. It's
Yeah.
probably smart.
You do see sometimes people in jobs that maybe they shouldn't have done, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've
Sometimes I
had,
think people's motivation is maybe they just need a paycheck too. So,
yeah, exactly. It's hard to say
you know,
no. Hard to say
I
no.
mean, been there. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm excited to see Blood Axe and what you do next.
Yeah, well, hopefully you will like it. I
Oh,
think I'm going to like it.
yeah,
Thank you, and thanks for having me on. It's really lovely to.
absolutely. And hopefully, maybe I'll get to meet you in real life at some point. Maybe we'll see each
Yeah.
other at a SAS Next City event.
Yes, yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, it'd be great. All right, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you soon.
I hope to see you soon. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.